Why did the government silently delete the job requirements for one of the most powerful financial posts in Jamaica? And who really benefits from the sudden U-turn that nobody can explain? By the end of this video, you will uncover the political chess moves, the hidden power struggles, and the smoking gun behind the FID's retracted statement. This isn't just politics, it's strategy, scandal, and straight up spin, and why no one wants to talk about it.
To my certain knowledge, I know that other highly qualified senior police officers had applied for the post. Why weren't they offered the post when the first rank candidate declined?
A strange disappearance. It started like any other press release. The Ministry of Finance issued a statement explaining the updated job description for the Chief Technical Director at the Financial Investigations Division, the FID, a position that's basically the firewall between corruption and justice. But just hours later, poof, the statement was pulled, deleted, memory hold, no explanation, no apology, no clarification, just gone. Wait, what? This isn't just any job. This is the head of the agency that investigates financial crimes, money laundering, and corruption. So who's watching the watchers when the rules suddenly disappear? Do you think the FID job requirements were changed on purpose, or was it just bad timing? Drop your theories below in the comments. Bunting sounds the alarm. Enter opposition Senator Peter Bunting, former security minister, longtime critic of shady backdoor dealings, and now the man demanding answers. Why was the requirement for law enforcement experience removed after Fitz-Bailey, a respected deputy police commissioner, declined the job? And more importantly, why did Dennis Chung, a chartered accountant with no law enforcement background, get the job immediately after? Bunting's theory: simple. The game was rigged. Certain applicants, maybe even more qualified ones, were boxed out, so the government could install someone they were comfortable with. Comfortable or controllable? Who do you trust more in this drama? Bunting, Chung, or neither? Let's hear it in the comments below. The political firestorm. PNP versus JLP goes nuclear. But that wasn't the only scandal burning in the political kitchen. If a war, at a fiery political conference, PNP caretaker Dr. Miranda Wellington declared war on her JLP rival Floyd Green, calling him Fenke Fenke. Ah boy. Fenke Fenke. She clot him, you know. She clot Floyd Green. Everybody in the Jamaican dialect know exactly when you call something or someone Fenke Fenke, what that mean. The JLP pounced, demanding an apology, citing Jamaica's history of political violence. But the PNP, they didn't back down. Dr. Dayton Campbell, PNP General Secretary, said the remarks were just a metaphor and accused the JLP of orchestrating a smear campaign. But Senator Marlon Morgan of the JLP fired back, calling the PNP's defense egregious, and demanded opposition leader Mark Golding rein in the rhetoric. Now ask yourself, was this really about words, or is this part of a larger narrative of political theater designed to distract from real accountability? Keynote and pay attention to that. Is Dr. Wellington's war comment fair game in politics, or a step too far? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. Enter my expert analysis. Follow the paper trail. Let's connect the dots. Fitz-Bailey, known for law enforcement integrity, backs out. The requirement gets deleted from the FID job description. Dennis Chung, who fits a different profile, gets appointed. The ministry retracts its own statement, but doesn't explain why. Meanwhile, the PNP is under fire for one metaphor, while the JLP shields itself from questions about transparency. If this was a boardroom move, we'd call it a hostile takeover. In politics, we call it a playbook, because here's the trick. If you control who investigates corruption, you control who gets exposed. Keynote and pay attention to that when me just say. Don't make you go over your head. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. FID job description mysteriously retracted. Law enforcement requirement removed after top cop declined. Peter Bunting questions the entire selection process. Dr. Miranda Wellington's war metaphor sparks JLP backlash. PNP says it's a distraction from deeper issues. JLP versus PNP drama mask a silent reshuffle in a powerful post. What we just witnessed isn't just a political spot. It's a coordinated dance of silence, spin, and strategic appointment. What else is being erased behind the scenes? What role does the Integrity Commission play? And who's really writing the new rules of power in Jamaica? If you're ready to keep pulling the curtain back on Jamaican politics, subscribe now. Drop a fire emoji in the comments and tell us, was this a blunder or a master move? More explosive truths coming next, because in Jamaica, every headline has a hidden headline. Opposition Senator Peter Bunting enters the political chat. So let's hear what Peter Bunting have to say about the whole, Dennis Chung FID appointment and why Fitz-Bailey declined the offer. Let's listen up.
To my certain knowledge, I know that other highly qualified senior police officers had applied for the post. Why weren't they offered the post when the first rank candidate declined? The truth is, this appointment was engineered to install a hand-picked loyalist. And now the government is scrambling to cover its tracks. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Dennis Chung must resign. The Ministry of Finance's sudden retraction of its own press release about the appointment of Dennis Chung as head of the Financial Investigations Division has raised more questions than answers. We demand answers from the Public Service Commission. Who sat on the interview panel? Who authorized the changes? How many qualified applicants were ignored? At a time when trust in our institutions is already fragile, this threatens to destroy confidence in our anti-corruption efforts.
He should have resigned from yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean he shouldn't take the job in the first place. And he still got take a job, and he see the backlash and the outrage and the outroar from the Jamaican populace. And he still sit down in the seat comfortably. I look forward to a $13.9 million annual salary where he no qualified for get, because he should not be in that position. But if you have to cover your tracks, you have to cover your tracks in a way like that. Get it? Yeah, man, a 4D chess. The wellness administration a play when you allegedly install a political loyalist like a Dennis Chung. Because if you control who investigates corruption, then you control who gets exposed. So, for example, argument's sake, the Integrity Commission did send over PM Andrew Holness' file to the FID so them could do further financial investigations into the PM finances because the Integrity Commission did come up on a roadblock. So now, the Financial Investigations Division, FID, have the Prime Minister file and them supposed to do a deeper investigation in his finances. Now, lo and behold, here comes Dennis Chung, new FID chief, someone who was on record stating that the PM having 28 bank accounts did nothing wrong. The man said that publicly while an active investigation is going on by the Integrity Commission and the FID on the Prime Minister. So him being appointed is very strategic. As me say, it's a 4D chess move by the Holness administration. Because if me did I cover my tracks, well, that's what I would do. Not to mention that they deleted the requirements from the FID job description so Dennis Chung could slide in to the position of Chief Technical Director. Then the Ministry of Finance retracts its own statement but doesn't explain why. You understand? So a cookie a crumble. So more everybody just pay keen and close attention to everything that's going on. Stay aware. Don't make nothing go over your head. Well, that is why the Patriotic Jamaican YouTube channel is also here to keep you updated. You see me? Yeah. So now watch the fact that the story might come out from Thursday and you just get it 2 days after or 3 days after. Even if you watch several other videos before on the topic, when me drop my video, me still have something important and meaningful to say. Me still add value to the conversation. And I am pretty sure me I go say a lot of things where you never hear before in the 10 other video where you watch before on the same subject matter. Because I am in no rush. So, me could hear where Senator Marlon Morgan, member of the JLP's Communication Task Force, have to say. Because Morgan blast Dr. Wellington's war metaphor as egregious. So, let's listen up. Because, you know, we know Morgan style already. Him have a bag of things to say.
The Jamaican people should consider the noticeable difference in the treatment of the two objectionable and unfortunate developments that took place on the respective political platforms this past Sunday. Less than 24 hours after the repugnant use of indecent language on a Jamaica Labour Party platform, an apology was tendered by the offending representative, and our party leader, some 48 hours later, reiterated via written communique the standards to which JLP candidates and representatives must adhere. The PNP, on the other hand, has not only refused to have its offending candidate apologize for her repugnant reference to war, but on the contrary, has actually sought to double down and defend the indefensible. For us in the Jamaica Labour Party, when we err or otherwise fall short of the established standards, there is accountability and an acknowledgement of error. What the public is seeing from the PNP, however, is an egregious and contemptuous display of arrogance and gaslighting. Based on Jamaica's past experience with political violence and the epidemic of violence that we continue to grapple with as a country, notwithstanding the ongoing significant reduction in murders, reference to war or any other violence inciting utterances cannot merely be dismissed as metaphorical use of language.
So, as you can see, as you can hear, the JLP has the PNP under fire for one metaphor, while the JLP uses this as a shield and tactic to shield itself from questions about transparency, integrity, government corruption, government cover-up. Why the PM gone silent all of a sudden? Me no know, maybe I just me, but me start see and hear less from the PM, from the whole him being named allegedly as one of the illicit six. As me say, me no know if I just me, but me just start seeing less and me start hear less from him. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I mean I pay attention. So this persistent attack by the JLP policing the PNP speech and use of language and use of words is just one major big distraction. You see me? To cover over and hide from all of the important questions what people supposed to focus on and what people supposed to ask. So don't fall for it. Don't make it go over your head. Well, as me say, that is why I am here. To make sure say, you know, go over your head, but what them I do, lodge in your brain and you are aware and made obvious of what they're doing. That's why my breakdowns and my expert analysis is very different. So what we're all witnessing isn't just a political back and forth between the JLP and PNP over words being used metaphorically, cause the JLP know say when the PNP attack, it's metaphorical. Them know all of that. But it's just another 4D chess move as a coordinated, targeted, strategic tactic to silence the PNP. It's just a political spin to control the narrative and redirect the focus of the Jamaican masses on what the JLP want them to focus on. So in other words, don't look over here at the Wellness Administration with all of the accusations and allegations of corruption, scandals, and all of the, you know, the damaging and negative things them we are going over here. So don't look over here. Focus on the PNP. And them are the one where do all I foolish. Distraction tactic. I would be lying if me never say it no effective, and it works. Trust me, it works. Because them are control the narrative. They're staying ahead of the political narrative. So let's hear what the PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, have to say. Because the PNP come out strong and defend Dr. Wellington's metaphor that was used on the political platform. So, if a war, a war. Let's listen up.
I want to make it absolutely clear. The recent attacks on Miranda Wellington, our candidate for Southwest St. Elizabeth, are dishonest and deeply hypocritical. Dr. Wellington said, "We are prepared for war, and if a war, a war." That was not a threat. It was a metaphor, the kind used every day in political and public life. From the war and crime to ground wars in election, it's a way of expressing readiness, not violence. Instead of addressing their own record of incitement, from Darrell Vaz to Desmond McKenzie and Everett Warmington, the JLP has a well-documented culture of inflammatory language and provocation. And while there was a belated apology on one single occasion from Mr. Warmington, the broader pattern of hostile behavior from within the JLP has never been meaningfully addressed. The hypocrisy is not lost on the general public. What we're seeing now is a calculated distraction. People's National Party remains committed to a political culture grounded in respect, fairness, and peaceful engagement.
Clearly, we can say the JLP weaponizing words, weaponizing speech, to try control what you say and to try silence you, so you won't be as effective when you're on the political platform attack. Because what Dr. Wellington say, he pack one whole heap of punch. You see me, she pulled no punches. Floyd Green get every one of them. So because she caught Floyd Green so hard and then realize that woman here are gonna be a real problem for Floyd Green, you know. Zane, she not gonna be no walk in the park contender for Floyd Green come walk over and just walk past. That now gonna happen with Dr. Wellington. So now them a try silence or censor your speech. So whatever you say won't be as effective, because you have to filter yourself when you talk. You have to make sure say you say the right things, because Labour Party are gonna run out and say this and say you have to apologize. Once they ask you to retract your statement, and ask you to apologize, they are silencing you. It's a tactic. It's a genius strategy. It makes your speeches on the political campaign platforms ineffective and useless, basically. And a lot of people don't get it. It go over the heads of a lot of people. And then they weaponize the media, and then weaponize political commentators to come out and say, what the PNP did say, and what Mark Golding did say. Mark Golding need to apologize and do a retraction, car when Mark Golding did say blood and fire, it sound like him incite political violence. It sound like him tell people to go war in the streets. And never that Mark Golding did I say. Mark Golding was never implying or suggesting no such thing. Them just take it out of context, because them try weaken your speech so as effective, so pack no punch. Then when they upon the political platform attack, all your statements must be ineffective and weak and fenke. Yes, they want all your statements to be fenke. If you want of better words, let's use that, so you might understand even more clearer what me I say. While at the same time using this type of censorship to even distract from the bigger issues that's going on over the JLP. So you have to give it to the JLP. What them I do if you try to control the political narrative it's effective. So even though Denton Campbell will come out and Marky G might come out, or Peter Bunting might come out and say, the Labour right them a hypocrite, because them do the same thing. Them say things where we could have said, what kind of statement that? We want an apology. We want a retraction. Yeah, the PNP are go ball hypocrisy on the JLP. I think the JLP I do all of this is because they realize them a lose ground and them a lose power, and now the PNP is the one who is gaining momentum, gaining power, and again more ground politically, and again more political leverage. So the mere fact say things are swing in the favor of the PNP right now. Them have to try pull every trick out of the hat. Yes, that political hat. If you try slow down or stop the PNP's momentum. I mean, me not blame the Labour Party. You can't just idly sit and watch your opposition grow stronger and you just make it slide. No, you have to intervene and say, remember me there, I am still the incumbent. Me not come out of power yet. I am still here. And this how me have to say. You understand? That's how politics play. The JLP do what them have to do, and the PNP do what them have to do.